I have been selecting indica mothers and crossbreeding them with mostly indica male plants. And this is my masterpiece. It took me almost 20 years to develop this strain. The homozygous dominant is what gets the great bud color. This Dergamata, she's a hybrid of two different chive strains. I got one from a U.S. government laboratory. Look at that thick stem, will you? Short inner lobes, long, pointy fingers, strong veins, tight bud clusters. I love the frosty look, don't you?
Fucking love it. Looks amazing.
Go ahead, take a big smell. Yeah. Enormously high THC. Very sweet, hashy taste. And it finishes with a Christmas cake mix of tropical fruity flavors. Manatuska Thunderfuck and Silver Kush. See, can't even carry this bud's jockstrap. There's two different universes. They're not even in the fucking same reality. Look at me. The shit that we grow here is fucking insane.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers, by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. Busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? Yo.
Hello, my darlings.
What up, guys? I hope everyone liked that new little intro out there. Monster spent a lot of time on it. He worked really hard on it. And it was his artistic vision that that little skit in the beginning, which cracks me up. So thanks, man. Welcome, Alabrije.
Yo.
A familiar face.
Thanks for having me. Always good to be back.
Good to have you back on, brother.
Always a pleasure. Truly.
Indeed. This is like the third summer now in a row, I think, we've had you on the show just because you are up to some really cool stuff.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
As always. I mean, really.
I like that we have our regular schedule. It's summertime, time to get back on Cultivation Conversation. Hang out with my friends, talk about autoflowers. Love it. Yeah. Up to a lot of stuff these days. So excited to dive in.
Hell yeah. Well, before we get into all things Alebrije tonight, what do you have in your pipe this evening, sir?
I'm rocking the Mighty tonight, doing a little vaping.
Nice.
I've got some. It's one of mine. It's called the West Coast Tucadillo, which is it's a Tangy F3 that was a super mango fino. This one's in honor of G3 tonight. I know she likes her mango.
Ooh.
And that
I
was crossed with Marathon OG, so it's kind of like a mango, skunky, gassy mango OG type of thing.
I can get behind that.
Yeah,
that sounds like a great combination. I mean, how do you like the Mighty, by the way?
Overall, I love it. It's
yeah.
I got the little pods, and it's easy just through the day to just like load up 10 pods, and then you're just sort of ready to roll. And it keeps me just kind of. I don't use it in the evening very much, but it felt appropriate for the podcast. It's kind of like diet weed a little bit. You're not like super stoned or anything, but it keeps me just sort of at a mellow pace through the day. But it rocks, man. The device inside is really killer. I've got a Volcano, and it's definitely comparable.
Oh, word.
As far as like a pocket size thing goes.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's actually quite interesting if you say it compares to the Volcano. I mean, really, that's the only vape that I feel like ever actually got me high enough to the point that I feel satisfied. Like it's diet weed, but it's good diet weed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we took a little vacation earlier this spring, and we took 2 weeks off of smoking. And when we came back, we were vape only for the next. We made it almost 2 months, but not quite. But as soon as we started smoking, we noticed the vape effects kind of deteriorated, and it just in comparison. So it's a big perception thing. I think when you're vape only, you can get a lot of satisfaction from it, but when you're trying to do both,
interesting.
I think your endocannabinoid system, you're looking for that more intense effect, and then in comparison, the vape just doesn't quite do it.
I have to agree with that. It sounds logical, sir. Well, yeah, let's do a little around the horn, guys. What do you got tonight, G3?
Around the horn.
Yeah. As is tradition, what are you smoking on?
Me? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have no Alebrije left. I had searched through my entire collection. No Alebrije left.
That's a good. I'll take that as a compliment.
That is, I mean, they don't stick around.
No,
they go fast.
They don't, man.
I get my hands on her, and I don't basically go to anything else. I just move straight through her whenever she's appropriate. So, I actually found my jar of Mango Smile.
Nice.
So I had like this much left in a jar, and it was gone, missing, MIA, and I found it.
Good.
Yes.
It's like,
Okay.
Sometimes you want to hide that really good stuff from yourself too, just so you can I used to do that and hide $50 from myself in a drawer somewhere, and it's the greatest day ever when you find it.
I mean,
Same
really,
with
it's using our weaknesses as a strength.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, mango's not. It's a mango kind of night, I guess. Cap, you gonna keep the streak alive? You got some mango up there?
No, I'm not. I am smoking Alebrije. Well, I'm smoking some of his genetics. I would never smoke you.
What's the terps on that?
Dirty hippie terp.
That's funny, man. Well, I am indulging in some of your Salmoso OG,
nice call.
Which, man, one of the greatest, most pleasure to grow plants I've ever had in my garden. She was big, she was beautiful, she was easy, she was loose. Let me do with her whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Nice.
No, she was just she went along with the flow, went with the program, didn't give me any guff, and man, like the colors on her at the end were just phenomenal. And the smoke is exceptional. Exceptional, like A+. I actually, one of the biggest harvests I've gotten, I pulled about half an LB from her, about
Nice.
eight ounces dry.
Whoa, nice.
Oh, yeah.
This is my big jar, you know, of like the top nugs, the ones that I like to show off, you know, just like that's a showpiece nug right there.
Gorgeous.
Anyone,
I can see the spiral on that too.
right? That like helix.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who takes a look at this stuff is just like, you know, they're floored. And then anyone who gets to smoke this stuff is just as floored, if not more so. Like it's a strong one, man.
What do you go around showing the jar, teasing people?
No, but you know, like when guests come over and stuff, like sister-in-law, brother-in-law, just family, people that I trust. And this is one that always catches their eye. And then when I let them try it, it knocks them on their ass. I mean, is it an indica dominant strain?
I'd say so. It was Emerald Fire OG from Humboldt Seed Company crossed with my dog walker, which was, and it was from the F3 pollen, which was pretty broadleaf dominant, and the Emerald Fire OG was that it gave it that big bushy structure. But I feel like it brought a lot of the chem and the gas kind of forward from the dog walker. So that was a favorite. And I miss having that one in the rotation. Time to whip her out again.
Ooh. Dude, it's like, it's piney. It's skunky and piney. Definitely like has that earthy note up front, but then it has this gassy note, and it has like a sweetness behind it all. I don't want to say like baking spice because it's kind of overused, but no, it's like, this is like a showpiece bud, showpiece weed. Like this is what I brag about to people when I'm like, yeah, look what I grew. So,
I appreciate that. Thank you. What kind words.
Oh,
I'm honored.
Hey man, like your stuff is just, it speaks for itself, you know. Like I wouldn't say this unless it were true. And all the others I've grown from you, from tangy to Blue Zeroso to sour Peresoso, and man, I just harvested that permanent holiday.
You've been through a lot. Yeah, damn, I forgot.
Oh yeah, I've definitely grown. I'm trying to collect them all.
And there was the Salmosa round with the soil beavers too. I remember that.
Yes, there was.
Yes. Soil beaver.
That was the soil beaver episode. You are
Forgot
correct
about that one.
I totally just, that dawned on me.
So yeah,
Those
it was.
fuckers.
She was a long time coming, and like for it to pan out this good, like in all categories, is just, yeah. I'm as happy as a pig in shit.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Oink, oink, motherfucker. Nice.
About you, monster.
I am actually smoking on some of that BGG George's root beer.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yep, he did really good with this one. It was it's one of those, it's hard to even almost describe the terps because it's kind of unique. I get like a sweet, almost vanilla spice, and then it's not on every hit, but like I get like a chem aftertaste. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to describe, but I do enjoy it.
Nice.
We love the chem, and we love BGG.
Yeah, we love BGG. Shout out to another friend of the show.
So speaking of a kind of root beer thing, real quick, all right? You guys ever hear of a soda called Moxie?
Yeah, it's my shit.
Yeah.
That's
from Maine.
It's your shit.
I love that.
That's like shit.
It is apparently like the original soda, right?
Yeah. I
Like
guess.
before
I mean,
It's
all of them.
wow.
It's like cream soda.
It used to be made in New Bedford, New Hampshire, and then Coke bought them out. And then for the longest time, it wasn't available. But they're putting it back out now. I don't drink soda often, But when I do, I try to find Moxie. It's not in every store. It's hard to find.
Yeah, dude. I discovered that like it was the original soda before Coke, before root beer, before Dr. Pepper. Like there was Moxie, and it was like it's this really interesting blend that's like it's beyond root beer. It has like almost like a licorice and a cream soda aspect to it.
I can't
So
describe how it
strange.
tastes.
Very
Lots of weird stuff, man. But my wife said it was like black cherry cream soda. Kind of.
I mean,
maybe.
I don't know.
It is
it's
a
so
truly
hard.
unique taste.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
People
find
either
some.
people
you
either
should
love
try
it or hate it. It's a
should
love
try
hate
it.
thing. My wife fucking hates it. My son
Yeah?
loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be on the latter end of that.
If you like root beer and you like
I do.
black licorice,
Yeah.
you probably love it.
See, my wife hates black licorice but loves root beer. Can't stand the taste of Moxie.
I come from the food and beverage development background, so I love trying.
yeah,
I
that's
love
right.
trying new things like that, and just trying to like dissect them, and
Yeah, if you could
figure out
dissect
what
it,
Oh
they
yeah,
are.
you'd have a field day. I'd
That'd
love to
be-
hear your
it'd be-
assessment.
I'll have to send you a bottle. The problem is it's gonna get shaken up. It's gonna be fucking taste like shit by the time it gets
Yeah,
there.
it's complex for sure.
I'll track it
But,
down. We have some like stores around here that have like funky sodas that are sourced from
So
all
somebody
over.
told me, do you guys have Cracker Barrels out there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody told me it's in Cracker Barrel.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Right by at like the
That
general
would
store.
actually make sense from just like a logical standpoint.
Well, if Coke bought them out, I've been to the world of Coca-Cola, and they have like at the end you can try all these different sodas from
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah,
over the
yeah.
world. So I'm sure
They got it
it's
there.
on one of the machines there too.
There you go.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's get to weed.
Check it out, guys.
motherfucker.
Check it out. Yeah, let's get to some weed here. Hold on.
Everybody must get stoned.
Great fucking song.
Classic.
So yeah, if you're not stoned out there, now's your time. You know, pack up what you got. Join us. And
You got him.
well, yeah. So, Alabrije, dude, your zine that you're putting out is this like it is so punk rock. It gives me a punk rock boner. I'm not gonna lie. Like it takes me back to my high school days where like my buddies were all in bands and they were like, you know, making these crazy zines, putting them out and like all the local music scene and stuff. Like the DIY nature of your whole, like everything you do from the packaging to the ceramics, you know, like when I got my Drowsy Lobaka, you know, you include like this
So pretty.
handmade plant tag that's like fired in a kiln, glazed, man. Like this is fucking craftsmanship right here. Like I just love it. It's not that often these days in 2024 that like I see something that's like truly punk rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like for real.
it was very much inspired by those old school zines. There's a store here that sells like old used comic books and has like a crazy collection of those from all sorts of political writing to poetry to music ones. And the thing is that they're all very handmade, technically like kind of low quality and cheap materials, and it's just about like expressing yourself to the community.
Yes.
It's just 100% about I'm just trying to get this out there. It doesn't matter if it's in like a fancy magazine or whatever. It's just this is what I can do on a regular basis and try and put out the content. It was also inspired by like I'm just sort of getting over Instagram and they definitely against our community and hold us back in ways, and even down to the photography. I notice all my photos are definitely compromised as far as quality goes. By the time it actually uploads, they're all like significantly fuzzier. And as far as like, I just need to take this into my own hands and be able to share content on my own platform. And I've, slowly been building this email list for the last few years, and it just seemed like a better way to go.
It is. I mean, 100%. You get the whole, you get to, the vibes are just awesome in the whole thing. Like it's, from interviews with people who've grown your strains to like your the one thing I enjoyed a lot was your like Malta smoke report. Like you're on vacation trying to like get around and get high. Like it's just, it takes you to a place, and it's just really great entertainment, man. And like, I just want to thank you for doing that. It's super cool.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to check it out. It's a lot of fun for me. I have a diverse background as far as my career history goes, and cooking, as I just mentioned, and food and beverage development and recipe development was a big part of that. So it's fun for me to like have a reason to like create an edible or put out a recipe. And I've been trying to share some, gardening tips and how I make kashi and recycle my soil and things like that. But yeah, it's just like a good, sometimes it kind of just helps force me to do these little projects, because like, I need to like get this done and get some pictures of it for the zine. So it kicks my butt a little bit to go out and haul 50 tubs of soil and get them all mixed up.
Yeah, man. You got zine fans. You don't want to disappoint the punk rock community.
Pressure, the zine pressure.
That's
right.
Pressure, yeah.
But like, so, and one of the, obviously, if you've listened to the show, you've heard us talk about kind of our whole tent pirate thing,
Definitely.
and what it means to everyone is, it's kind of like an individual thing. Like people kind of can interpret it how they like, but it really is what it means to me is kind of like I'm going to do this one way or another. You know what I mean? Like this is something that like, no matter the laws, no matter the scheduling of the substance we're speaking of, like, pirates don't ask for permission. You just fucking go and pirate, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like it's in their blood.
Well, yeah, it's more of like your laws are stupid. I'm gonna go do this other thing.
Definitely.
You don't need to know about it. It's cool.
So
you go do you, and I'll go do me, and never the twain shall meet.
Exactly. And I would say 3 of the 4 of us are in prohibition land as we speak. Correct?
Yep.
So that's
fucking crazy. It's just crazy to me. It
makes
me makes me fucking mad, really.
It does.
So dumb.
It's just fucking ridiculous. I mean,
isn't that nuts?
For what reason, really? Like, so stupid.
But I'm with you. It's 100% where we're gonna do it no matter what. We're gonna be as precautious as we need to be. But they're not gonna stop us. We're the ones who are gonna be, when big pharma takes over the cannabis world. We're gonna be the ones who still have some genetics preserved from the old days and growing the good stuff.
That's right. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like, we're not here to listen to the whatever laws are placed upon our community. Like I didn't wait for permission to start doing this. It's just like I needed to do it. And I'm not, that doesn't make anyone who's like, waited for it to be legal in their area to start doing this hobby. Like I'm not saying you're any less of a grower, though you might be a little bit less punk rock. That's okay though. Not everyone needs.
They might be punk rock in other ways.
Punk rock, yeah.
It's you, Helen.
No, I know, but it's so like it's a little bit of a different thing with people like us who just do it because we have to do it. it's not about monetization. It's not about like, the corporate sponsorships and all the like, oh, now suddenly it's legal. We can make all the videos and gussy them up as much as we want. Like, no, this is a DIY project. I don't know, man. I really vibe with the whole brand that you put out and
I appreciate that.
the tent pirate lifestyle, man.
It's something I feel super strongly about too, because I've been a user for the last 20 years, give or take. And yeah, I've yet to live in an area. I've floated all over, but have never lived in an area where it's legal. And I've always known, getting it from a random source, not knowing or trusting a name. I guarantee you, so much of the time I was probably smoking moldy bud, or I'm sure there was all sorts of crap in there and pesticides and whatnot over the years. And it's just been so inconsistent until I started growing my own. And now I finally feel like I'm on the right track. I'm smoking healthy, good quality. It's simply for me and my medicine. Maybe I share it with a couple friends, but it doesn't go beyond that. And, it doesn't need to. We can have small communities grow for each other. And yeah, everyone who enjoys using it doesn't need to all necessarily be a grower. It's really easy to build up a pretty big supply after a run,
right,
and easy to share. And yeah, we don't need big pharma to take over. We don't need their medication. The reason it's always been so harsh on marijuana laws is simply for that. Is because it would put them out of business.
100%.
Right on, dude. Right on. So, do you have like being a breeder in, prohibition land? Do you have like secret any special tips for any of our fellow tent pirates out there who are worried about extra tents, extra plants? What do you do that's special to keep your nose clean?
Honestly, I probably am more lax than I should be at times. One thing I can't do, I can't even wear a Alabrehead Genetics T-shirt to the grocery store for fear somebody might, Google what it is and put together two and two pretty quick.
Right.
No, I just start by not telling anyone. No one but my close family knows. Very, very close friends, but none locally. So that's not much of an issue. Other than that, I just keep a low profile. I don't sell it to anyone. So in my mind, part of it's just that a mindset. I don't believe I'm doing anything wrong. I feel 100%
right,
morally okay about growing this plant and consuming it myself, and then not hurting anyone and just going about my day. Yeah, so I have no issues with it. So I think mindset is a big part of it. I'm not afraid. And then being aware, having a backup plan in case an issue goes wrong. I have run into the law back in the day when I was in college, and I have gone over that moment a million times in my head since, and was like, what could I have done to destroy the evidence quick enough if I had just done this one thing or something. So I would advise keeping a couple 5-gallon buckets handy and a couple gallons of bleach if you just need to quickly destroy some evidence and make it non-testable. They can find all the grow lights and grow tents they want, but if they can't test for any THC, that's the only thing that's illegal technically. So might help when it comes to sentencing when they don't have a lab test, but it would be obvious. But it's the little things.
If you've already gotten to that point, I don't think we have much advice for you. You're kind of fucked.
Being an upstanding citizen is important too. If you pay your taxes, do some charity and volunteer work, things like that. So if you ever do have the book thrown at you, that at least on paper, you're a good upstanding citizen, and it goes a long way. I ended up getting a slap on the wrist for a felony
Like,
charge.
I think that's the best advice, to be quite honest, man. Like, be the type of person who, if your neighbors heard, like, oh, that nice man down the street, like, was no knock rated for like having a personal grow in his attic. They'd be like outraged by that because you're the nicest man in the world. You know what I mean? And they're just
He shoveled my walkway.
Yeah, really. Be that kind of person who would be like, I can't believe he would ever do such a thing, but like now that know that knowing such a nice guy has a hobby that's seemingly like so innocuous that I never even knew about, makes me change my whole mind on the whole subject. Amazing.
Yeah, totally. All this is allegedly, by the way. I don't do any of these.
Of course,
things.
yeah. We would never break any laws in real life. This is all just a skit we're doing.
Purely hypothetical.
Yeah, this is just live action role play. Mm-hmm. You're right.
These are just characters.
Amen to that.
Figments of your imagination.
In Minecraft. So I want to talk some of your genetics, dude. Like, yeah. I mean, I can't get over how good they are. Every plant I've grown has just been like shoots out of its shell and grows like perfect. And like I said, I've grown a lot of them. Well, what are you doing, man, selection wise?
Yes. How the hell do you choose?
What's your special sauce?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. One thing, I mean, I'm making fem seeds most of the time. So one thing has come down to just giving myself multiple options of reversal. Usually when I start, depending on the project, when I start a reversal, I'm going to start at least 5 or 6, up to 10, depending on how big the population is going to run. But I start them really early for autoflowers. I start spraying at like day 15, and I haven't seen a lot of traits up to that point except for vigor. So as far as like vigor and basic structure and,
makes sense.
Yeah, so one of the things I'm looking early on is just speed and vigor, which to me is like one of the primary advantages of autoflowers versus photoperiods in the first place.
Sure.
If it wasn't for just trying to find something that goes really quickly in the veg stage, then you might as well just grow a photo. Anyway, so yeah, by the time those handful of reversals are at a point where they're making pollen sacs and are even further beyond where they're ready to actually drop pollen, you've gotten a lot more clues as to what your best option is going to be. And again, a lot of what I'm going for is at that point is size, structure, the initial vigor. I'll throw in a stem rub just to try to gauge potency of aroma. Not necessarily that it's going to give a clue exactly what it's going to smell like, but some smell stronger than others. And I think that's just in the, it does tend to shine through. It's not a guarantee. But if you get a nice, strong smelling, spicy stem rub, chances are you're going to get a nice terpy plant too.
Good point.
So that's on the reversal side. On the mother side, it's just trying to give yourself, again, a big enough population to find the best one. And sometimes it comes of just a random 1 or 2 that you had popped. But I tend to try to, in ongoing line breeding projects, I'm popping 12 to 20, I would say, if I'm just carrying on another autoflower generation. But running a photo to auto conversion, it can be up to this last run. I did 65 plants. The first wave was of 30, and the second wave was 35. About 10 days behind it. And I was just looking. Wow. Yeah, I was looking.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and this was in a relatively small space. So as soon as I found, this was in the F2 generation of this rainbow guava tangy tibaguana project, and so I was looking for the auto trait. And so as soon as I found the first few under 24 hours of light, I immediately started reversing those. I found a couple more trickle in a few days later, and then at that point, I trashed the rest of that first wave of 30. I gifted a few. They were photos, but most just went in the trash. I mean, it's just part of the nature of it. I don't have the space to accommodate them all.
Yeah, shit. So when you do a run that big, like in a small space, I mean, what size pots are you using?
Those were in solo cups.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So as soon as they showed a pistol, I transplanted into 1 gallons, and
Cool.
those for those reversals, and then I did 1.5 gallons for the second wave. Those I had in little what do you call them? The little they're little mesh bags where the roots just easily grow through if you just transplant
Oh,
the
like
whole bag.
the nursery
The
bag?
nursery bags, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, that was on the second wave, and I ended up finding another like 5 more on the second wave, and then all the rest in the solo cups or in the other nursery bags just got trashed. That's it was just space purposes, and then so I ended up with I only kept one of the reversal, and then I had 6 moms of to carry seed.
So it's about like you're saying, backups,
Backups, and
just in case it
of
doesn't
those,
work out the way
yeah,
you think.
of those 6 moms, one smelled very much like the rainbow guava #5 cut I initially started with. So that will be the one I work forward. Those are the F3 seeds that it contains. So I'm going to work it forward and look for those traits again to make an F4 generation. And hopefully, if I find like the reversal and another good mom that carries those same terps and the same kind of resin qualities I'm after, hopefully by the F4 it'll be somewhat stable and most of the population it'll show. But
Man, and that's for those who might not be in the know, that's a brand new photo to auto project that's using that cut from Mr. Autogrow, right? Who
shout out Mr. Autogrow,
yeah,
yeah.
he's been making the rounds with that live rosin he makes from this cut. Yeah, I mean, it's been on like the Terpene Therapy podcast, and he's gotten it in the hands of some like really some hash aficionados out there, and it's making waves. So
The goal wasn't necessarily to like replicate it exactly. That's really difficult to do
for sure.
in seed form. You're never gonna, like, even if you ran all of its
Yeah.
brothers and sisters that he initially ran, you're not gonna find that #5 again. So to carry it over in autoflower seed form, it's not going to be an exact thing, but the goal was to just get as high a wash numbers as I could. It's just
Amen.
meant to be for concentrates. It'll make some good flour, but it's got nice loose structure and big trichome heads with weak necks, and they don't bust right when you press them. So it's got all the little traits I'm looking for, and just hope to make something that can move fast and dump.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk a little about that? Like, not everyone has access to, professional hash making equipment. However, you don't need that to make really, really good hash. You don't need much of an investment at all.
I linked some bags in the Discord. You want all nylon mesh bags. You don't want the ones with vinyl on them because you're not going to get the best product that way. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you, but it's pretty simple. All right, that's like $50 tops, and you can get more or less bags depending on what type of hash you're looking to make. You don't need all 7 bags, but a 5-gallon bucket and some ice and then something to stir it with, and lay it out to dry, microplane it, and you're good to go. You don't need a $3,000 freeze dryer. I don't own a $3,000 freeze dryer. Okay. I like to take said bubble hash and then press it for myself for personal smoke. You can choose what you want to do with it. You have different grades of bubble hash. You can smoke it. You can cook with it, give it away. I mean, some real good 73 is fucking phenomenal You know, like
that's the micron you prefer.
No, it can vary depending on strain, but a lot of times, most of the time, 73 is really good, and if you do it right, it can be full melt. You know, good shit.
So real quick, hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. I really like the press club for my pressing needs, or warshin.
Yeah, that's
as
too
they
much money
say around here. Yeah, you think so?
Way,
but these are super high quality.
No,
ones, of course.
the bubble man bags are probably just as good, if not better, for like $50.
Okay, we can shout them out. Bubble Man.
Those are the industry standard, the bubble man bags.
Of course, this is like the 8-pack of all the bags, which you certainly don't need, you know?
I was going to say, I typically just use 2 or 3 bags because I'm not making huge quantities. And if you divide it by, 8 different microns, certain ones, I'm just pulling such a small amount. I end up combining it with another anyway. I ended up just losing some in the...
Shout out to the press club, though. I mean, they make the best bags, period. So if you press it all,
just quality wise, I think you can never go wrong with their stuff.
I'm talking about their what do you call it? The fucking pouch you put your shit in. The press bag. I'm
the mesh.
Yeah,
the mesh. Yeah,
yeah. It doesn't bust open.
For actually pressing.
For pressing rosin. Oh, okay.
Now, and their parchment paper is fire too.
Oh yeah, yep. Do you think the 4-pack for 150 still too much?
Yeah. I mean, unless
you're doing it like often.
No, I mean,
and you're worried
honestly,
about quality.
Before I go ahead and say that, I'd have to really look and see if they're really like thicker than the Bubble Man bags, because I've had my Bubble Man bags for like
I don't know,
ever, and they haven't given me any problems at all.
Word. Well, point being, you don't need much of an investment. Even, half or a fraction of the price we were just talking about was sufficient to get like literally
even the 250
full melt hash.
Even the 250, which there's still not a lot of money to get some fucking quality shit.
No, sir. And you can work with just like 5-gallon buckets and ice. It
is labor intensive, but it's
absolutely.
Easy.
It's definitely a good winter activity, especially if you're making some fresh frozen, little bit of live bubble hash. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, do you think that 4th gen will be out by winter time?
Probably not.
No. next year.
Yeah.
I know these things take a long time, brother, man. It's an art,
and
it's not ready till it's ready.
And once I get it ready, Mr. Autogrow is a much better hash maker than I. So I'll definitely, before it ever gets released, it'll get sent back to him, and he's gonna run it and wash it and show off the kind of rosin it can make, and tease you guys.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a tease, man. Shit, but yeah, so that's super cool. That I love anything photo to auto. Of course, it's just new genetics in the Autoflower gene pool.
Yeah, and as I make the F4s this fall, I'm gonna hit a lot of my other classics in the stable, and maybe some other fun things from other breeders, to just make some fun new F1s and things along the way.
Oh yeah,
it's cool to see like the community too, like fucking doing shit together. I can't wait to see what happens with the results as far as how it washes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. More of our two more of our former guests getting together outside of the show hours and making babies,
and both in prohibition areas, and still just doing our things.
I love it, man. Yeah, you guys, absolutely. Like if there were ever a punk rock hash maker, it's Mr. Autogrow.
That's definitely
for damn sure. So shout out to him. But
he's great.
Let's get back on the Autoflower thing. The photos are cool and all, but I don't know. I always go back and forth. When I'm smoking an autoflower like this, I'm telling you, man, you can't beat 84 days getting a half pound of like bud that would make anyone's heads turn, don't matter. They don't know if it's an autoflower, they just ask me, what the fuck is this,
Yeah.
You cannot beat that speed, that turnaround time. Like you just can't. So
I was gonna say that's just one of my goals is for it to be something that you don't differentiate. You're not, oh, that's an autoflower, oh, that's a photoperiod. I think we're getting there. Again, we're still a ways away where it's completely equal. But
aside, real quick, we got a David. I've never seen you in the chat before. We answered your question at the beginning of the show, which is, why are all of you douchebags wearing sunglasses?
So mean. Who hurt you,
First of all, I don't identify as a douchebag. Okay.
I told him his mom gave them to us.
The reason we wear sunglasses is because we're out here in Prohibition land, sir, representing the tent pirates, the repressed growers who don't want their identities necessarily being seen. Yeah, exactly. Good point, Nicholas. Says the man wearing the sunglasses in his profile picture. Dude. Just get out of here, man. Go away. Nobody wants you here.
I mean,
nobody.
You're welcome to stay if you'll be nice.
No, get out. You're banned for life.
Beat it.
But I'm sorry. What a rude interruption from someone we never even heard of before.
What the fuck you gonna do?
Nothing. You ain't gonna do anything, David. But yeah, we're talking autos. We love our autoflowers here, of course. Let's talk about growing them a little bit. What have you stumbled upon any new like wisdom about the autoflower in popping so many of them? And yeah,
that's a lot of like condensed experience into a short time.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah,
no worries. I saw your mouth moving, but I couldn't hear anything.
I said, yeah, I've got my routine down to kind of a science these days. I'm still tweaking with my nutrients. I just have my own little blend I'm making, so but I run it through the whole cycle, so I can't really tweak the recipe until the next run. But I'm an organics guy. I'm just running in soil. I've been reusing the same potting soil now for the last year and a half. I'd probably been building up that quantity for about a year or two, so probably almost 2.5 years, some of it. But I just started really recycling it like a year and a half ago, and I just make my own bokashi and mix it up, throw it in tubs for a few months. And then one of my words of wisdom is autoflowers love super fluffy potting soil. And this is just something I sort of stole from the cocoa world, and just seeing kind of how when they're in that super light, fluffy, oxygen-rich medium that they just expand. That's the one risky thing people seem to think with autoflowers is stunting them and getting a stubby little plant. So if you don't want to get a stubby plant, do a nice, fluffy, loose potting soil or cocoa. Is going to be your best bet. But so I take my recycled soil and I'll mix about like a third or so back of peat moss, and it's super spongy. And then I make my own. I also add insect frass and worm castings to that, just for a general base potting soil. And then I make this mix. It was loosely inspired. For many years, I ran with Nature's Living Soil, their autoflower mix. Got great results. I highly recommend. but I'm a DIY guy, and I just really wanted to make my own from scratch and just buy my own base ingredients. Theirs was also like super stinky, and I don't use any like bat or seabird guano in mine, so mine is like significantly less smelly, which is a pro. But it's just got it has more worm casting and insect grass, langbonite, rock phosphate,
nice
crustacean meal, all sorts of stuff.
You can do it without that. Yes, that bird poop, man. If you ever get like just regular chicken manure for your garden, it's like, oh, it's the worst. Worst stuff.
It's fucking good shit, though. No pun intended.
It is.
Yeah, we like a little stink, but not a whole lot when you're, especially when you're indoors.
Putrid. It's putrid. Yeah.
I had chickens. I used it in my like vegetable garden, but not indoors. Yeah, I don't want to bring that stuff inside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you mentioned a great tip, I think, that often gets overlooked, which is the fluffiness of your medium. Like not most, let's say we get people using soil. We get people using bagged potting soil from the store that they got, You're new. You went out, you got your Happy Frog. Maybe you watched the Captain video on YouTube. You got your Coast of Maine, Stonington blend, or your Coco Loco, or your Ocean Forest. Some brand name potting soil you found at the store. Sometimes that shit can come waterlogged too. You got to be careful, like it's way too moist. You always want like a nice even moisture level, not too much, not too little, and you, most importantly, like you said, don't want to like stuff your pot with the soil. It needs to just like rest in there. You can maybe like, bang the bottom of the bag a little bit on the ground.
That's the perfect method, really, honestly. People definitely overpack them.
Because you don't want to lose too much volume when you water either. If it's super fluffy and there's so much air in there, as soon as you put water on top of that, it's going to compress into nothing.
Yeah.
Then your pot's going to be half empty.
Yes.
Yeah,
what do you say? You tap it? You tap it?
Yep,
I call that the tamp. Like you're making espresso, you press it in there so
I was gonna say
like firm,
you're at the urinal at the stadium. You got to get out quick. You just tap, zip up, and you're out.
Little shake and move.
Yeah. Water's usually really cold in those places.
Yeah.
But
no, I give it a good press down because I've definitely experienced what G3 just talked about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just a matter of having like the spongy materials in there that it'll still hold a pretty fair amount of air pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So Ken, we got Kenny. Mr. Kenny says in the chat he got his last bag of Happy Frog was like 50 pounds. It was soaked.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I've gotten that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've absolutely gotten that. I've gotten bags of soil that smell really bad too. They're waterlogged and they've gotten like
some sort of anaerobic.
Anaerobic. Yeah. They've gone anaerobic. And there's just a sulfur kind of smell coming from the whole batch of soil. It's okay. It's okay. Just like put it in a tub, put it outside in the sun, let it dry out, mix it up.
Let it breathe a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You just gotta like get rid of that bad stuff, reintroduce the moisture. Yeah, it'll be cool. But like, don't overstuff your pots, guys. I feel like that's a common beginner mistake. It's got to be.
The more effort that root has to put forth to travel through the soil, the less it has to expand on making other roots and doing other things to make the plant bigger. So the easier you make life for your plant, the bigger it's going to get.
Especially for an autoflower in the first 2 weeks that we're talking about, where that taproot and it's going to be shooting out, and the easier you make it for them, the bigger the plant you're going to get, probably.
100%. And I even go through like my medium with my hands, you know what I mean? And I'm breaking up any clumps.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking out any big particles. I've even seen people do it like on a screen, almost like you're making hash.
Yeah, I've
But
seen that
you
before.
got soil on it, you know, just to take out the big stuff and let the finer particles through. And that's really the stuff you want to work with. I don't like big chunks of bark,
Yeah.
anything like that, like rocks, anything like. Some people just say like, yeah, it'll make the taproot a little tougher, a little tough love.
Yeah, I don't believe in fucking with that taproot too early on, especially.
Yeah.
Not a
No,
good thing.
we
I
don't need
I toss
tough
out
love
any
for
big
our taproots. We don't. Got to baby our taproots, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely toss out any big chunks I find in my soil along the way. So if you do recycle yours, you'll eventually get to where you have a pretty nice smooth medium, and that bokashi really will just eat through any organic root material, over the course of a few months. And yeah, so that's some of my first keys to get a really nice, like, even smooth soil. On the flip side, I used to buy some Pro Mix, and I thought Pro Mix was kind of always a pretty good, even keeled soil like that with a lot of spongy qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That nice peat.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Definitely a good quality peat.
Yeah, I like Pro Mix.
I used Pro Mix for a while. It's convenient, that's for sure. The compressed bales, you just fucking, it's always there. And they say
yeah.
it has a little mycorrhizal in there, but they don't say how much.
Well, so I also use Dynamico in mine. That's another
Hell yeah.
little key tip I would say. Definitely try it. It works awesome. You literally see it working on the top of your soil. You'll see a white fuzz, and the way I'm doing with organics and top dressing and things, I actually mix Dynamico into my little top dress mix as well. So every time I am
nice.
top dressing, it's kind of, you're getting another layer of white fuzz right on top, and you're breaking all those things down. And it's still like a slow release kind of deal, but yeah, works great.
Yeah, listen, they don't sponsor the show at all. I don't have a fucking coupon code for you. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not using Dynamico, you're doing it wrong. I'm telling you, it's a great product. That, along with the Photo Plus, is all you'll ever fucking need. I like the Dyno for transplants. I use it every time.
Dyno?
Yep, Dynamico.
Like dynamite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Their thing actually
the,
comes in something that looks like a TNT container.
Yeah, but don't buy that one because you're paying for that stick, that fancy stick. Just buy the bag.
Yeah.
The stick is fucking cool as fuck, though.
Yeah, it is cool. The way it works, you don't actually have to use very much per plant, because if you just stick a little bit under where you're gonna end up putting the taproot or the germinated seed, as the roots grow, those mycorrhizae grow with it, and they feed off of that root system. So it's a culture. It grows. You don't have to add so much. So a little bit goes a long way. I don't use the quantity they recommend.
Yeah, plus it's granular, so it's not as messy. I love this shit, and my plants love it too.
Yeah,
direct me to the stuff you're using. Is it this 3-in-1 mycorrhizal inoculant?
Yeah. Well, I can't see the screen. Yep, that one right there.
Mycorrhizal.
Yeah,
you just
the one that looks like dynamite.
Yeah, I get the little black pouches.
What? It looks like a huge M80.
Yeah, that's their retail packaging. It's pretty fucking cool, but I don't recommend buying that one because you're paying just for that packaging.
Yeah,
buy the pouch.
But I want that one.
And then buy it, Cap.
It looks like it looks like a stick of dynamite.
I mean, it's cool. Good marketing.
It definitely great marketing.
All right. That's cool. It's cheap. Treats it 20 plants.
A little goes a long way. Like it lasts.
That's awesome.
That 20 plants is more like 50 plants. You can probably do.
Yeah, because I only really use this stuff like at the beginning of life. Like I
that's
only
it.
like I put it under the seed, or I like when I transplant, I sprinkle it in the hole before the
Yep.
plant goes in.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's you do it once and you kind of it's there. It grows with the plant. So all right, cool.
Yeah, so spongy soil, Dynamica, you're off to a great start already.
All right, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't want to turn this into a Dino Michael infomercial, but
Well,
I
dude,
feel like they're slept on.
I gotta
uh,
bring up the
I'm,
products we're talking about.
I'm not
To be
sponsored by
fair.
them either. I pay full price for that product. I love it.
Yep, same.
I want people to know what we use and where they can get it. We don't have a code for you. It ain't about that.
Well, you could get it at Mass Hydro. Use code CC10.
Oh,
There you
Yeah.
go.
little workaround.
Boom.
Love it. Love it, man. All right. So Alabrije.
Yeah.
Autoflower wise. What's coming down the pike from you? Like what can
Thank you.
we expect?
So, a few things coming up. The most immediate would be our Tangy Tibaguana 2.0 drop, which is it's 2 years after the first time I was here on the show. We were hyping up the first drop. We had the big grow along, thanks to you guys. Shout out to Rev and Johnny, kicking that off after watching the Cultivation Conversation episode. And so
Yeah,
here we
that was
are.
fun.
Finally, the next generation, the F3s are coming out, and also in the pack is going to be a reverse back cross to the Amnesia Haze Auto Parent. There's also one called Tangy Mixta that's a CBD mixed ratio with vitamins from 2020.
Ooh,
And-
that's exciting. We need more
I like
CBDs, man.
that.
And then the freebie is going to be a fast photo. It's an F1 of tangy and papaya melons from Bloom Seed Company.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of,
Nice.
but there's a lot of tangy phenos to find. So the idea is that you can find a tangy photo period and hang on to it and take cuttings, and if it's your jam, then you got. I know our community. There's a lot of people that like to grow both. So
I love that, man. I got my first batch of clones, ever.
Nice.
I took clones from some photos. I'm keeping them. It did the whole thing. It did it as low budget as possible, like nothing but saliva and water in a mason jar.
Nice. Got roots.
Saliva?
Got roots.
Why are you
Yeah, man.
spitting on your plants, dude?
I heard it was like you want to
Quantum
suck
entanglement.
on it a little bit, to get that.
Bacteria is in your mouth. No.
You suck on that cut to get that that bubble out. That air pocket. You don't want that air pocket. And the saliva actually is probably a good thing to be quite honest with you. I mean, how could it not be?
I feel like there's a lot of bacteria.
There's bacteria everywhere. It's just I'm giving them a kiss to start their next stage in life.
I wouldn't necessarily give that a shot, but it worked for him.
I mean, you do you, boo.
My point. Listen, the point of the experiment was if I could get roots on 6 of 6 cuttings doing this ridiculous cloning method, then again, you don't need to spend a lot of money to do any of this stuff. You don't need an aero cloner, really any of it.
Sucking on
Very
plants
easy.
is free.
Yeah, just suck on them and put them in a mason jar full of some water.
Oh, yeah.
But
what more do you need?
So we're talking. You got your tangy photo. That's bad.
Yeah, so
there's
24 seeds in the pack amongst the 4 varieties. So it's a big fatty pack. The forerunner is the F3 generation of tangy, which is a long time coming. I remember we talked about on the first episode if I would ever re-release something again? And my answer was, maybe, we'll see.
It's funny you say that, because that was in the back of my mind. I was going to ask you that.
It was you. You were the one who asked it originally, and I thought about it and went, well, it's a community favorite, and everyone talks highly of it, and so give the people what they want. And I wanted it again. I wanted to keep working with it, and so yeah, she came back around for another generation.
That's pretty cool, man.
We're so glad she did.
Yeah, me
Absolutely.
too. So after that, we're in September. We're doing a little pop-up party in LA. It's going to be our second anniversary of doing Alebrije, and we're doing a little. Last year, we went to Virginia and we did a little East Coast pop-up down at Homegrown, Virginia, and that was a lot of fun. And we met a wide range of home growers from all the way down from Florida all the way up to Connecticut, and almost every state in between, missing 2 or 3. And it was just really cool to connect with all these guys. So we decided we wanted to do a little West Coast version this year. So we're going out to LA, and we're going to drop this West Coast Tucadillo that I've been puffing on. It's got the Marathon OG in there. So it's an LA classic, I guess. And yeah, we just wanted to go meet some of our West Coast friends and have a good time, celebrate.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I have to believe there will be a frog involved in that shindig.
There will be a frog involved, I believe. Yeah,
maybe even a Charles Budkowski too.
Yeah,
hopefully he can make it down.
I hope so too. Well, now's the time to announce Charles Budkowski actually did the art for the Tucadillo. It's a toucan armadillo. And
that's so cool.
I wanted a California artist, and actually went to the frog himself and asked for recommendations, and he was just like, "Oh, Chuck's got you."
Shout out to Charles Budkowski. He's one of the first Discord members in the community. I remember breaking his balls very early on, and he took it like a champ. Shout out to Charles Budkowski.
Yeah,
good dude.
We love him.
Just another way we really like to connect within the community, and anytime it's a grower that I can get to do the art, I'm always trying to find a different artist for each one, and sometimes we cycle back, but in general it's a different artist each time. And so but it's really cool when it's connected to the community, and especially one like Charles Budkowski, who's right in the heart of the community. And yeah, very cool.
Fuck that frog though, Rev.
Now, that's again, the DIY nature of your whole brand. I think it really resonates with this community in particular. There's a lot of people, like myself, who just appreciate that kind of thing. And you can tell right away, when something's got a handmade touch to it.
Yeah. I mean, Alebrije is an art expression in Mexico, and we always wanted art to be a big part of the brand. And yeah, doing things like the ceramics and the ceramic plant markers and things like that. Shout out to Nama Potter, who makes those for us. Yeah, it just, each one is individual and handmade, and it goes same with our seeds. Everything goes back. It's hand shucked. It's just my wife and I. We put the seeds in each file. She was waxing them today for the tangy drop, while I was stamping the boxes. Each box has 5 little stamps, so it takes a few weeks. And started doing spray paint graffiti on our outer shell boxes. So I did those a couple weeks back. Cool, and yeah, there's just a lot of little stages, and everything is very handmade, so it can just have that kind of.
I can show those off, actually.
Individual touch. Oh yeah, nice.
So cool. Look at that.
Again, that DIY touch, you don't find it everywhere, and it's awesome when you get it.
Nice.
So
yeah, I mean, I had fun making those. So it again gets back to me just wanting to express myself, but it comes out in the form of a fun little
and
package.
There's always stickers, not to mention the pins, right? We got the pins.
Oh, nice.
I got mine here, my tangy. I got my What's this one?
That's your Drowsy Labaka.
Drowsy, yeah, that's a new one,
Nice.
which matches my shirt. My wife pointed out.
And it's the Alabrije
Right?
colors.
It's
I like
interesting. And then this one over here, sorry, other side is the. Can you see it now?
Oh yeah, the Days Sabrana, or
Yes,
zebra,
sir.
or zebra
Yes, sir.
frog. So yeah, it's just a way to have fun. We're just all about having fun, and when good weed and medicine comes along with it, it's just a bonus. But yeah, fun and art and weed.
And then, of course, helping the dogs, saving the perros.
Yes,
an important part of the mission.
Also on the agenda, so September we're going to be out in California. Then November for Thanksgiving we're going down to Mexico City to do our next Save the Perros mission.
Nice, dude.
We just go down once per year, so I mean I wish we could do more at this point, but
dude, come on, you do.
I mean,
just that alone is a fucking awesome thing.
That's again, like one of my favorite parts is watching the thing come to fruition and like seeing the dogs get their food, and it makes me tear up a little bit.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking for sure.
You just it's makes you feel good though. Makes you feel like I always make sure I donate when I grab some Alabrijes. It's
nice.
Even though you got to check out fast. So what you got to do is get the seeds, check out, and then go back and do the Save the Perros donation. That's pro tip right there.
Yeah, that is a pro tip. So yeah, just to note, I don't have control of that, but it happens every drop that people get cart robbed. And so yeah, until you actually check out and complete your purchase, your cart is not safe. And yeah, I get angry emails every drop.
Oh, it's heartbreaking from every side.
It comes. I expect them at this point, but
I know
yeah,
it's like
I got to do a better job making it known. So that's why I figured I'd mention it here. Your carts are not safe until you complete checkout.
No, you gotta be fast. You gotta be fast. When can do you have a drop coming?
Yeah, so the Tangy 2.0 is on August 4th at 4:20 p.m. Eastern time, coming up in like 2.5 weeks or so.
And that will include the Tangy F3.
Tangy F3, Tangy RBX, Tangy Mesa, and Tangy Photo. It's spelled Fauxpoe, like a fake.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
I love the wordplay.
Clever.
Yeah.
Like a fake toe, photo.
Yeah,
Extravaganza.
You're so clever.
Maybe
yeah,
spit
man.
on my seltzer.
August 4th at 4:20. I'm setting goddamn phone alarm right now. Because again, like,
make sure you set
this
up
will sell out.
4:20.
This will sell out. You got you just gotta be there. You have to get in. You gotta wait in line. Again, it's that kind of like punk rock nature of the whole thing. You camp out in line to get the concert tickets. When they go on sale at Sears, at Ticketmaster office at 10 a.m., there was no online when this whole, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta do it yourself.
Indeed. I mean, my first days buying Autoflowers were in the Mephisto and Night Owl and Rockbud days where their drops were just gone in seconds, and I myself got cart robbed and loved it. It was an adrenaline rush, and scramble. What strain am I gonna get? I'd researched that one. I wanted that one, but gonna flip and get something else. But yeah, it was just fun, and we may grow in time a little bit, but I don't really ever see us growing too much. I think we like kind of just doing it low key, drop style. I'm not a big fan of going through the seed banks. I like just doing it on my own. And so yeah, we'll probably always stay a little small guy, but we'll have fun with it.
Super craft.
Super punk rock. Super craft. Like, again, John says the last drop sold out in 3 minutes. That drowsy Labaka, right?
It was like 6, but yeah.
Like the wind, man.
They went quick.
Well worth it. She's gorgeous.
But like, again, there's a certain, when it becomes too big, you lose a certain element. Like every seed is packed by, like, you and your wife. It's just like, I don't know,
Such immaculate vibes.
Yeah.
Touching every seed too. Like,
So
with gloves. Yeah.
well, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
you don't-
that's
you
a
don't,
lot.
you
That's
don't,
a
like,
lot
put 'em
of
in your mouth
love and
before?
care and consideration. Like,
you don't
these are
suck
your
on 'em a little
babies.
and then
This
spit
is
'em
the
out?
fruit of all of your work. Like,
totally.
yeah, don't put them in your mouth. Ugh.
Yeah. Now, I used to think about, like, I wanted to grow and be in the various seed banks, and no, we put so much time and effort into these packages, y'all. It's crazy that it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't meet our our style to go through other retailers and whatnot. We just want to be a small craft art project and just do it for fun. Yeah, so we're having a good time, and
set your alarms.
we're also in a position, being somewhat of an outlaw. We're not in a position where we could hire anyone anyway or expand, or we're never going to have other people coming and stamping our boxes because
there you go. It's kind of,
it's got to stay secret.
That's the real secret, is like, it's the necessity of the whole thing. It's like the true, like, the great punk artists, like they all, like, the great albums just came about by, like, poverty, like depression, bad relationships, drug abuse. You had to go through it to make the true art, So it's kind of like, speaks to the whole thing, man.
Well, I appreciate
the whole
that.
thing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No, we appreciate you like no other, for real. Do you have a few minutes to stick around and do our segment?
You bet I do.
Our no knock raid segment. We got a shout out to Dad Botanicals, who sent me our new audio clip. We're gonna lead us right in. We are coming in. I know it's a little menacing, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. So, again, the whole point. I want that to encourage you guys to kind of. You can donate your artistic talent to the show. We want that more than your money. I assure you. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not more than your money, but it is as valuable to us. So we are in J Train's garden tonight, scoping out what he's got going on.
I do like big leaves.
Mm-hmm. I can tell that one front and center is an indica, a squat thing with those wide leaves, right?
Oh yeah.
So tall.
Looks like he's got the
girl in the back. Ooh.
Got a lot going on there.
Woo.
Yeah, full tent. Very, very nice
So
looking
pretty.
plants. He's got a nice mulch layer with that straw. He's got, let's see, what looks like what are those? Rain Science bags, Rain Science grow bags. You know what I'm talking about?
Super, like, pure mesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. High quality mesh, work great. Look at that beautiful indica leaf, fat fingers.
Perfect specimen.
Pretty.
Indeed, yeah, man. This is a nice looking garden. I'm impressed so far, J Train. We've got a purple looking plant here. Could be the purple pentalania.
I was gonna say she looks very familiar.
It does look familiar.
It could very well be. Well, we're not here to ask too many questions. We just break the door down and start looking, snooping around.
I love it.
So I always like to gauge plants. I'm gonna assume, J Train, brother, that you're growing autos. This has the look of autos to me.
Looks like
Doing
a nice
like a
OG right there.
perpetual, right? Well, first of all, it has to be autos because we got one in flower and one in veg. So this is a perpetual grow setup.
Well, I mean, you're probably right, but he could just have a perpetual flower room, just throw his plants into. Seen people do that too. But you're probably right.
Probably more likely, but yeah, I hear you. It does not 100% sure. We're playing like Guess Who, you know what I mean? It's kind of fun, actually.
Wow.
What's this? What's this like
plant.
thing? This fog coming down from?
That's the AC Infinity humidifier.
Oh,
that's
with
the
the
tube
hose
for the humidifier. Yeah.
Next to the fan.
Yeah,
That's
good place for it.
Throwing it right in front of the fan, very smart.
Good spot for it. And then, like, this looks like his temperature probe right there, hanging, dangling. I do the same thing. About canopy level. Like
That
he's got
is
a little
big plant, and she's got a while to go.
But look how happy she is, praying like that.
She's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
Absolutely. I like the old school fly strip you got. Hey man, like listen, if you got a fungus gnat issue, you got to do something. Go to the fucking Walmart, get a fly strip just like that.
Those work. I mean, simple, cheap.
They work. But I would say the CC method, the solution is your BTI product. You can grab it from a Microbe Life Hydro. It's called what is it? The mosquito thing. It's not called the mosquito thing.
Oh, it's not.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
I typed the mosquito thing into Google, and that's not.
It's not called that.
It's not that.
But man, look at this beautiful purple one. Deep purple. That might be anvil. Now that I'm looking at it, that's a deep purple.
Yeah. That leaf structure's not quite right.
But yeah, dude, like, looks like you're doing. I mean, if I had to guess,
pretty.
Just because you got that mulch layer, you're probably doing organics.
Yeah, which is interesting to me because I noticed a lot of tip burn on those plants. So he's
you can definitely get tip burn.
Oh no, I've said it. You can before. A lot of people don't think you can. It's kind of funny. You can definitely burn a plant with organics. I fucking did it myself. Easy. Stunted the thing.
Oof.
That's a beautiful picture, though.
I do it all the time.
I love that. I'm going to give you a little star here, a little green heart in the Discord. Thank you for letting us barge right in to your beautiful garden, J-Train. I mean, unannounced visit, and I mean, I don't really have any complaints, my friend.
Stunning work. Beautiful.
Bravo. Well, shit. It appears that we've reached the end of the ride.
Oh,
Wah. It is, but rest assured, Alabrije will be back. He is a friend of the show. You can find him in our Discord. You can raise the bat signal for Alabrije. Don't do it often. He's hand packing seeds. Him and his wife. He's making spray painting boxes for you. Making custom pins and
roasting
t-shirts.
coffee.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's
Don't
up with
bother
the
the
fucking
man.
coffee, man? Shit,
So exciting news! My new roaster is coming in. It's supposed to be here by the end of July. I just did a small apprenticeship with a local roaster, a guy who's been doing it for 30 plus years. Got tons of valuable knowledge from him. Felt a lot more confident than my old rudimentary roaster that I was starting on 2 years ago. So it gave me the confidence to just go on and upgrade my roaster. So I've got a big 1.2 kilo thing coming in.
Nice.
And I'm excited. It turns out, the real way to learn and just get it done is to just trial and error every bean. It's like cannabis. Every single bean is different. There's so many variations and so many different ways to roast, just as there are ways to grow. That it's just like any other plant. There's a lot of variables to it and a lot of fun to just mess around. I definitely get the feeling it's like growing weed. It's a wormhole. You start opening up and start geeking out, and there's all sorts of equipment and I gotta try that new bean from Rwanda. Was it honey washed? Oh, sick, dude. Yeah. So it's just gonna be. I look forward to. My goal at Monster is to have the first coffee drop by the end of the year, and then next year I might start like a small little subscription thing where you could sign up.
Shut up and take my money.
All of it. Here you go. It's yours.
Right.
Give me your Venmo.
Well, still some practice to be done, but I'm definitely feeling much better than I was 2 years ago.
I love good, like, heady coffee. You know what I mean? And to support you, which knowing what you do with some of the proceeds, you're just a good guy. And I'm sure, knowing the pride you take in your breeding, that's going to be amazing coffee. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I like big terps, and it's the same with coffee. I like those coffees where you can like smell it through the bag, and
I drink it black, so I want good coffee. I'm not covering up with cream or sugar. I want good fucking coffee.
Yeah, you are so right, though. It is all about the terps. It's your coffee. Same thing.
And that it's just like weed. It comes down to freshness, and that would be part of the thing is we would mail it out within 24 hours of roasting. So getting it super fresh, that makes a big difference in flavor.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Just like your herb.
Extremely logical, sir. Yeah. Extremely logical. But yeah, thank you, man, for coming on. I encourage anyone who's out there listening to come find us in our Discord. We're hanging out there most of the time after show hours. Alabrije has his own Discord too. You can go there, check him out, get more like strain specific info, pictures, and that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Where else can they find you?
Yeah.
I'm Instagram, alabrije.genetics. I'm in the Cultivation Conversation Discord. Just hit the @alabrije genetics and I'll appear. Also,
I said, don't exploit that power.
It's okay. I like to get some notifications.
You let old Captain know if anyone's bothering you. Okay.
I don't think it'll come to that, but or just my website, alabrijegenetics.com. You can email me there, and the zine we were talking about earlier.
Subscribe to the zine. Where can people do that? Through your website?
Right on the homepage of the website. Just put your email address in, and you'll get it emailed every month to you.
And that's alabrijegenetics.com.
Yep.
Easy as can be.
Easy as can be.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome. I mean, it's so cool to see how far you've grown in these last 3 years, like a proud papa.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man.
Not at all.
The podcasts go a long way.
Nah, dude. Like it's the hard work, my friend, and like you doing it the right way. All we can do is spread the message of people doing things.
It's the community. The community that goes a long way. It's what I
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you to you. Thank you, G3. Thank you, Monster.
Thank you, Cap. 150
Thank you,
fucking
Cap.
One of the
episodes.
highlights of my week.
Thank all.
Yeah,
of you.
right. 150.
150. Congrats.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Wow.
We're in like
Big
a
night.
rare category of podcasts. Most crash and burn within like 50 episodes, I'd say.
This was episode 150.
Yeah.
Sick. Nice. Congrats to you guys, man.
Happy
What a
150.
yeah, that's a huge
Happy
huge milestone.
150.
Congrats to y'all.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
And yeah, we're proud for it to be you on this momentous episode.
I'm honored.
But it's really because of all the people watching, because of all the people who listen out there in podcast land. And yeah, it's truly a community-driven thing. So like, we do this for you guys, and what
A
that
little
means
bit for us too.
a little bit. It is the
It's
highlight
fun.
of my
We
week.
like
I mean,
what we
I'll be
do.
real. But what we need you all to do is to be tent pirates out there. You know, we need you to be a little stealthy. We need you to navigate the waters successfully. Sometimes you got to raid a vessel or two. It's just the pirate life. But the important part, my friends, is to not ever get caught.